Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to Gary's Mod. And welcome back once again to GM Liminal Hotel, the map that started it all. This is the very first map I ever explored in Gary's Mod. In fact, it was so long ago, I didn't even have my index yet. This was explored in flat screen. But it really turned me on to the potential of Gary's Mod as a whole. Seriously, for those of you who haven't seen it, this map is historically significant on this channel. And I'll tell you why I'm here now. It's not just because of VR. In fact, it's only now that I'm seeing it this way that I realize I've never seen it this way before. I'm here because apparently some time ago, the creator actually released an update for it. And I'm going to have to figure out what was actually changed. I've always felt sort of a strange connection to this liminal space image in particular. And so much has changed on the channel and in my life and with who I am as a person since I explored it, that even though it was only about a year and a half ago, I feel like almost a nostalgia for it. It just seems like such a distant memory. And so to come back here and see it in a way that's familiar but not because of the new medium, it's really weird knowing that something somewhere has changed, but seeing everything appear to be exactly the same. It's almost like having a reoccurring dream, or rather one which you know in the moment is reoccurring, but you can't remember the previous times. Oh, those are always the weirdest ones. The ones where you can't tell when you wake up if it was a reoccurring dream or if the idea of past occurrences was something you conjured up in that dream itself. But there it is, the moment you see that one person or thing and can just feel the evil emanating from it even without doing anything. All right. Let's see if we can't recreate that very first GMOD scare I ever had on this channel. Are you ready? I knew what would happen, and it still got me. That image, and it's only now that I'm able to see just how tall that figure actually is. Well, let's turn that off and start looking for whatever's new. Now, there are a handful of Easter eggs which I know are present, one of which I knew it was coming. And even though I did know it was coming, it actually sent shivers down my spine a little bit because when I first arrived, I didn't remember if you needed to use the music box to do this, the record player. And so I was just looking around, feeling eyes on me from the rooms that don't have curtains. Well, let's get walking. I'll hit all the ones that I know about first. This is probably not going to be a very long video, but this is like Mulholland Drive, knowing what's going to happen, but knowing I have to proceed anyway. This image here, I'll throw it up on the screen, might be the very first piece of fan art this channel ever had. Let's go. Look, the way the shadow rounds the corner, this is just anxiety, the image. Rather, foreboding the image. Okay, I thought you would just be there. I didn't know you would appear, and I didn't know there would be a sound. Is that part of the update, or is memory just a tricky thing? And if I don't find what's new, I am going to have to investigate each and every one of these rooms. Oh, right. I don't think I noticed this in the first video, but I only found it sometime later. But we can't seem to pick this one up. Yeah, this is the only bloodstain on the map, I believe, that spawns one of these. Indicating pretty malicious intentions. Oh, this is so weird. Staring back at the record player from the very location where it stood, seeing its perspective. There is an elevator, but we are going to take the stairs for this one in particular. Oh, look how narrow they are. And unclipped. Because we need to find, I believe there should be a bloodstain at one of the landings. Yes, right here. Ah, and I don't believe that arrow was there before, unless I just missed it. But I did miss this Easter egg the first time around. All right, are you ready? We got a platform 9 3/4 this thing. Straight into the back rooms. But wait, no! This has to be the update! However, this was always here. And we just have to let it happen to us. It didn't happen. No. This is all changed. Oh, this is much bigger. This is now a whole backrooms map. I don't like being corralled at the end of a hallway and then realizing that there's nothing left for me to do but turn around. Alright, let's get exploring this, I guess. The only thing it's missing is a sign above it that says free candy. So many blind, shadowy corners. I at first thought that this was like an overturned bookshelf or something, but no. It's just more carpet. Okay. Okie doke. Okie smoke! Okay, this map is quite a bit more involved than it used to be. Quite a bit more. And the ceiling is at least seemingly quite a bit lower, which, although it doesn't quite mean that I have to duck, sort of gives me a little bit of tension that maybe the walls are closing in a little bit. Actually, it seems a little higher over here. Is that just like an illusion or what? Why do I feel that way? Squeeze through the narrow gap. And another hole leading straight downward. Descending ever further. Ooh. And getting ever darker. Okay, this is really far more than I expected. This is much bigger than the main map at this point. All condensing down, funneling me through this dark thing into a claustrophobic hallway, which who knows what it contains. I'm starting to hear ethereal sounds. Almost like a ghostly choir rising in tone. Oh my. It's like I'm being invited. This really is like a new take on a bad dream. It's the pool rooms. Oh, I was expecting like an additional scare or two. I wasn't expecting a whole new premise to the map. This is quite a thing to add like a year later. The creator did actually message me and ask me to play this. I'm sorry it's taken so long. If I had known that it was going to be such a huge thing and that this could actually be a standalone video, I would have gone right for it. This white glow, these sterile pools. I get the impression that this is... like, you might go through something like this when you die. Look at the way it reflects in the water. Oh boy, that's much smaller than I was thinking. Okay, down on my hands and knees. I can just barely fit. Oh, this is truly claustrophobic. This is actually really kind of panicking me right now. It's like I can feel my shoulders brushing the sides. Against a wall. Right back here. Question mark indeed. Man, this place was built by the Riddler. Alright, while we're here, we might as well explore the rest of this, right? See what's around. Oh, and it seems like quite a bit is around. Somehow it's actually a little bit more disconcerting when it opens up like this. Random dips. Yeah, these are actually kind of like the true backrooms, the way I remember them. Speaking of opening up... Oh my god! Okay, there's more. There's more. That was just one path, there's more. These bloodstains appear wherever the Shadow Man is. It's like being stalked by one figure through a dream, almost like... well, actually, almost like the Shadow Man in LSD Dream Emulator. Almost like he's the host of this show. Oh, there's all different paths. And that sound is getting really on my nerves, which I'm aware is the point, but wow, it's stressing me out more here than on any other Backrooms map I've played. I'm just coming down here in case there's a scare if I turn around, because I have to... Okay. Okay, good. You know, there is such a thing as a fear of wide open spaces, and as somebody who's pretty claustrophobic, I never really understood it until I saw it in room form. Like, I know there are people who are scared of, say, standing in a wide open field, but when you slap a ceiling over that that's impossibly high up... my VR headset just did something really weird. That was a bad time for that to happen. It made my stomach drop like I was falling. I don't know, I think it sort of reminds me of when I was a kid, and I'd be in, like, a gym. There was this one room in my preschool, they called it Dome Room, and it was this big room full of, like, toys and equipment or whatever. It was like an indoor playground. But I remember it was always really dark in there, and the ceiling was, like, impossibly high up. In my memories, as, like, a 4- and 5-year-old, the ceiling was so high up that it just recedes into darkness and you can't see anything. In reality, that's probably not the case. I bet if I were to go there now, it would be much smaller than I remember. But stuff like that, it evokes memories that are very, very similar to that. Well, let's see what's up here. I think this should be the last of it. Is that a bloodstain ahead, or is that just a hatch in the floor? There's a nightmare image. Oh my god, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. That looks like I'm going to kneel down and see something, or I'll refuse and something will come out and nip at my legs. Oh. But we can't... This is the free candy room. Which means on our left, that's where the hat was. And I still want the hat, so... Oh, there is actually... There is a space around here. Oh, I was just waiting to see if the map would, like, punish me for no-clipping. It's the only reason I can think of to even have a corner here. Alright, whoa! Alright, back here again. And let's crawl our way through. Those different light levels almost makes it look like there's a pit that we're going to fall down, and since we know now we can't trust floors, well, that could always still happen. Well, this is intimidating. It almost looks like the hall in a movie theater if... Oh god, oh god, oh... It's doing this trick, I see that now. Okay. Oh god, that was so disorienting. Alright, I'm gonna need a second to kneel down. Alright, let's keep our head as low as possible. Wow. Wow, that was almost like being an adult and crawling our way back to childhood, walking down an empty, sterile hall, and, like, emerging from a playhouse, crawling on our hands and knees like a toddler. Okay. It's the back rooms in a different font, or a different wallpaper. But these rooms are much more open, more like an art gallery almost. Through here is probably going to be the way. Of course, I'm moving so quickly that a jump scare at this moment would be quite heart-stopping. That looks like there should be something there. It looks like something should be there, but it's just wall. Hang on, we're definitely going to try and run through that in a moment. I just want to check every corner and make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, let's do this. I'm either going to get terrified out of my mind or a big bruise on my head. Wow, actually nothing. It's a good thing I didn't run for it. Maybe I have to run for it. Maybe I'm supposed to jump through into the next dimension like the Kool-Aid Man. They'd probably respect me for it. But nothing. Let's do an experiment. It's the same sound. There might actually not be anything here. Here's a question for you. Can we leave the way we came in? We actually can. Okay. Now look, I've gone into NoClip just to move around in that area, and I have seen that there's more. That caught me off guard. I've seen that there is more, but I can't see what it is or how to get there. So now all I can do is kind of wander around and try to figure it out. Maybe one place to start would be to go to that room 1 level down, or 2 levels down. As I suspected, more bloodstains wherever they appear. Unfortunately, I just can't seem to figure out how to access those other rooms I saw. But I do remember one thing. In the original version of the map, I don't know if it's been removed now, there was a hallway that was completely inaccessible by normal means, and it looks like it's still here. Now, I don't know if this was an Easter egg or an oversight, but it's just so weird to me that this hallway is all here, and there's no way for the player to actually get here. Well, except with no clip, of course. I wonder if we... Hello? Oh. Okay, we've gone from the back rooms to The Shining. A table all set with music potentially copyrighted? Still, at least it's somewhere to sit after the endless spaces we've traversed. It's one of those things where you'll drive yourself crazy trying to figure out what it's trying to tell you. You have the back rooms, which seem like an amalgamation of just random thoughts, and then this. This seems just a little bit more coherent, and it makes you wonder if the whole thing wasn't like that as well. It's that vague anxiety that you're missing something, I think. Like when you have a conversation with somebody that isn't all there and you start to wonder if you're not maybe the crazy one for not understanding. There's a space under the door, and that's something I've never seen before, and so I'm choosing to take the opportunity to peek. It might still be too low. Yeah, I can't really see anything. My head was literally on the floor, as low as I could possibly go. Why have you stopped, music? Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's actually a little bit panic-inducing. This is such a large space, and you're giving me an exit, and I will take it immediately. I don't know if I've ever actually been this freaked out by large spaces before. I mean, Anemoiopolis had stuff like this, but I don't know if I've seen stuff exactly like this in VR before. Down we go. We can't even see where we're going. Whoa! This almost feels like being an exhibit at an art gallery. Like the enclosed space that exists within a frame. Huh. Are you trying to tell us something about the Shadow Man, maybe? Or his origins? Whoa! Huh. And just like when you wake up from a dream, for just a few more seconds we can hear the faint sound of that music fading away. Alright, well, stop that, you guys. I don't know how you're getting me every time, but I'm actually not finished with that place yet. I need to go back. There was another room. You know, with the way those two show up to jump scare me after every time I'm ejected from the back rooms, it almost reminds me of, like, a husband and wife out to the opera. Just showing up and making comments about how much they enjoyed the show. Or like, you know, those two Muppets. What are they called? Statler and Waldorf? But this is where the real dinner is taking place. Oh. This is weird. It's like the textures are all smeared and stuff. Even the actual geometry of the environment seems pushed down, like this is all photogrammetry, even though I'm not sure if it is. Like it's all set out for like a wedding or something like that, but there's just no one here and just one table in a room meant for many. Yeah, I really think this is actually photogrammetry. I can't even tell what these things over here are supposed to be. They look like covered tables of some kind. But there's another piece of work over here. The chair you would occupy is missing. Or the table's been flipped around. Can I interact with this one at all? No, I cannot. But I do get the impression that all of this, everything we're being shown here, is some kind of reward. The Shadow Man challenged us, and we got to, in some language, learn a little bit more about him. Like, by making my way through that, discovering these secrets, I'm being seen as a peer. Or maybe that's just wishful thinking. Oh well, let's drop ourselves right out of here. Actually, I don't think this door was here before. I don't remember anything like this. I remember reading a comment when I was trying to figure out how to get into those rooms up there about something about opening up every door. I didn't know what that was in reference to, but maybe it has something to do with this. Yeah, nothing different. I had seen a comment saying that they saw blood appear in the secret room when every door on the map was opened. And I went back and did it quickly, because most of them were already open anyway from when I was looking around. But still nothing here, which leaves this room a bit of a mystery. Tell you what, I haven't done this in a little while. Let me just give you a no-clip run so you can see how all of this actually connects. Oof. The only other thing I can think of is maybe we try closing it with us inside. Well, it hasn't done anything, but it certainly feels wrong. This whole place feels wrong. Here to see me off? It may be a cliché, but something about a silhouetted figure standing in a window high above will never stop having its intrinsic effect. So that was the update to GM Liminal Hotel, and coming back here has been such a weird nostalgia trip. But on the other hand, I feel like enough has been added that it's actually like tripled or quadrupled the actual content of the map itself. However, I don't think it's necessarily the size of the update that makes it special, but rather the fact that it comes in the form of an update at all. See, we go through this whole backrooms journey, culminating in, without explicitly stating it, what feels like some kind of personal olive branch from the Shadow Man himself, some kind of little glimpse into its nature. At least, like I said, that's what I intuit from that scene. Now, remember, I played this map like a year and a half ago, and so I've had the images in my mind of the Shadow Man peering from around a corner, blood on the ground, knife on the floor, for all that time. That experience isn't new to me. What's new is being spoken to so indirectly. And so, in a way, experiencing this as an update rather than for the first time all in one go actually feels like some kind of weird closure to this dream. It's a really interesting thing to think about how the length of time between two parts of a story can actually change the way that the story itself is told, at least in the way it's relayed to the viewer, meaning that somebody who came in right now, well, would probably see it as a completely different experience. If you don't have anything to add, you just stay disappeared. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.